After years of chasing this ship with a camera from the canal banks, I finally did it. I got aboard the Empire Sandy, Canada's largest sailing tall ship. And today I'm taking you along as we sail out of Port Colborne into Lake Erie, and straight into one of the most incredible backstories of any vessel I've ever filmed. This is Brad Morgan Adventures, where history meets high winds, GoPros fly, and the storytelling has just enough maple syrup to stick. We boarded around 9:45 a.m. for a 2-hour cruise as part of the Canal Days Maritime Festival, a yearly celebration where freighters, tall ships, and festival vibes take over Port Colborne. The ship was gorgeous. Gleaming wood, coiled ropes, 3 towering masts, and the kind of salty atmosphere that makes you want to say, aye, and hoist something. The Empire Sandy was born in 1943, not in Canada, but in England, built for the British government as one of 1,464 Empire ships, created for World War II service. Her job? Tugging disabled ships across the North Atlantic, Mediterranean, Bay of Bengal, and even off the coast of Libya, during some of the most dangerous days at sea. As we sail the final stretch of the Welland Canal and enter the vastness of Lake Erie, we pass a haunting little landmark known as the shipwrecker's boneyard. It's not a shipwreck dive site, but rather a scrapyard filled with rusted-out hulls, half-stripped vessels, and steel skeletons of ships that once plied these very waters. Many ended their careers here in Port Colborne, waiting to be salvaged or forgotten. We've officially left the Welland Canal behind and sailed into the wide-open waters of Lake Erie, and would you believe it? She's calm. Like eerily calm. Not a whitecap in sight. If you know Lake Erie, you know she's usually got a mood, choppy, windy, unpredictable. But today it's as if she's taking a spa day, just for us. I took a lap around the upper deck to soak it all in, sails above, glassy lake below, and that breeze whipping across the bow. Then it was time to head below and explore the ship's inner decks. Below deck, the vibe shifts immediately, cozy nautical charm with hints of varnished wood and sea stories. There's a dining room, a surprisingly legit bar. Yes, they take cards, and washrooms that, unlike on some boats I've been on, don't require you to solve a riddle to find them. It's like exploring a floating museum that serves beer. Honestly, if you squint hard enough and sip a rum and coke, it's not hard to imagine pirate ghosts playing euchre down here. She's not just old, she's battle-tested. After the war, she was passed around like a wartime souvenir. First chartered in 1948 and renamed Ashford, she joined salvage ops, including helping refloat the HMS Warspite, a battleship that somehow grounded itself on the way to the scrapyard. Later, she was sold again, renamed Chris M., and headed to Canada, working for Great Lakes Paper Company on Lake Superior, hauling massive timber rafts for 15 years. From Navy tug to logging barge? That's a resume. In the early 70s, her fate looked grim, nearly sold for scrap. But her hull was still strong, and she caught the eye of Nautical Adventures Company, who had a better idea. Instead of the scrapyard, she got a second life, a full rebuild into a 3-masted schooner styled after 1880s windjammers. Out went the tug gear and came wooden decks, towering sails, and a full schooner rig. She was also given back her original name, Empire Sandy, a fitting tribute to her war service and long journey. Since then, she's been based out of Toronto, cruising Lake Ontario, hosting weddings, corporate events, movie shoots, and tall ship festivals across the Great Lakes. Of course, even majestic schooners have off days. On August 5, 2017, the Empire Sandy collided with a Liberian freighter named Ina right here in Port Colborne. Everyone was fine, but let's be honest. A 19th century style tall ship tapping a steel freighter is like jousting a dump truck with a wooden sword. Still, she survived it just like everything else. Today we looped past Long Beach, cruised near Nickel Beach, and got full sails up action out on Lake Erie, all in perfect weather with just enough wind to make the rigging hum. It's wild to think that the same hull that once pulled crippled ships through submarine-infested waters is now pulling smiles out of festival-goers and adventurers like me. That's all from the deck of Canada's largest tall ship. If this voyage tickled your barnacles, hoist a like, chart a course to the comments, and subscribe for more unsinkable adventures. Till next time, keep your compass true and your GoPro dry. Brad Morgan, signing off with wind in me beard and adventure in me boots.